What's up YouTube, this is your boy Shining Fireheart, and today we have my Cyber Dragon deck, or rather I should say my Cyberdark Dragon deck. This is going to be a profile on the Cyber Dragons, but it's not just Cyber Dragons, guys. I have two different Cyber Dragon decks, one with the actual Cyber Dragons and the ones with actual Cyber Dragon fusions, as well as multiple combinations. Like I got more of the Xyz form. But I also have the this is the Cyberdark Dragon deck I built in honor of GX's Zane, or I forget what they call him in the manga, but anyways, this is my Cyberdark Dragon deck. It does contain the Cyber Dragons, but I just want to make this clear that it's not a Cyber Dragon deck, it's a Cyberdark Dragon deck. And you'll see why. Anyway, so let's start it off here with two Cyber Dragon Infinities. Why add these in here? They come in handy. It's all I really gotta say. Especially when you can use them. When you can use these to literally upgrade themselves by using another Xyz monster like the other one that's going to be in here, to give it more attack strength, to give it more power. And if I'm being honest with you guys, just basically to give it the oomph it needs to bring down the house and destroy your opponent's deck all in one go. Next, of course, we're going to have the Cyber Dragon Nova. Why the Novas? Well, they go with Cyber Dragon Infinity. You use these to bring out Cyber Dragon Infinity, and you basically got yourself a kick-ass combo. Sorry guys, if I don't mean to curse, and I don't mean that in a short term. I just need to make that specifically clear. Now, Cyber End Dragon. Now, this is the reason why I say this is not a Cyber Dragon deck per se, because of Cyber End. You see all the Cyber Dragon fusion monsters in here, but like I said, you'll see the reason why I put this in here as well. If your opponent has a monster in defense position, guys, you can really come in handy with dealing a big amount of damage to your opponent, especially if they're in defense mode and their defense is weaker than Cyber Dragon's 4,000 attack points. And if you double it with Power Bond, 8,000 versus a defense monster with little than that, with little to probably 2,100 or so, they're going to be gone and be dealing your opponent a very swift and high blow. Next up, we have three Cyber Twin Dragons. Reason why is because they can make two attacks and come in handy, especially when you're using a Cyber Dragon deck. Now here's where things get a little dicey, because Chimera Tech Over Dragon is a bit of a risk taker because the way I use this is basically a last resort, an all-out strike. Why? Because the more monsters you use to fusion with it, say you used all your machine cyber monsters by using the fusion that you can use for it, I forget what it's called, then using Overlimit to double the strength of it, and depending on how many other monsters you've used with Chimera Tech Dragon, depends on how many times it can attack your opponent. So if you fuse like 8 of them, yeah, that's going to be a whole lot of attack points, as well as basically 8 attacks, 9 including the Cyber Dragon that you have to use to fusion with it. So 9 attacks in total, and it gains 800 attack for each one. And you just fed it about 9 monsters. for 9 attacks, that's going to be a whopping big. That's going to be a whopping big smackdown, especially for 9 attacks, guys. If your opponent has 5 monsters, you take those 5 out. You still have 4 other attacks to do a high amount of damage. But like I said, it's a hard risk doing so, because if you do and you loot and they have like Sakurentu armor or something that can take your monster out as soon as it attacks, and this was your last resort, you're screwed. Now here's what I was talking about, the Cyberdarks. Cyberdarkness Dragon. Good to come in handy. Reason why I say that is because using this can really improve what you're doing to Cyber Dragons in a way that is, you can, when it's special summon, or rather fusion summon, sorry. Well, actually it is special summon, because fusion summoning counts as basically like a special summon, I believe, according to the new rules. Anyways, you can take a machine or a dragon from your opponent's graveyard or your own, like Cyber End, and that 2,000 attack points becomes 6,000 or 600 attack points in defense to your opponent. And not only that, it can also save itself by getting rid of the monster it's equipped to. And basically, you got a monster still raring to go. Sorry if I'm rushing it, guys, but you guys know Cyber Dragons probably by now, but I gotta explain it to you as best I can with what I got. Now here's another one, Chimeritic Fortress Dragon. Another good card for a risk taker, because you don't need polymerization to do it. Because it gains 1,000 attack for each number of fusion materials, and since you don't need polymerization, and the field is the only thing you could probably use to fusion summon with it, because you don't need polymerization, that's probably like 5,000 attack points your opponent has. That, or not your opponent, that you have for this monster. That may be kind of low, but at least you have a high powerful monster on your field, even though you just got rid of like all your powerful monsters, which is truly a great thing to have, especially if you need a quick boost or a quick charge. Even if you just sent 1 Cyber Dragon plus 1 monster, it's still got 2,000 attacks and can pretty much take on most anything your opponent could throw out for just a normal summon. But nowadays, because of link summoning, it's made it so that our monsters are basically going down the drain. All the hard work we could do nowadays. Anyways, like I said, Cyber Dragon is in here, 3 of them. Well, you gotta have Cyber Dragons if you're gonna have Cyber End. That's basically all that needs to be said. Cyber Dragon Core. A good card to get a spell card for your Cyber Dragons for fusion. But it also is good to use as a Cyber Dragon for like Chimeritic. Next, I only put in 1 Cyber Dragon Zwei. I hope I said that. I think it's Zwei, because it's German. Anyways, this card can also be used as Cyber Dragon, and combine that with Cyber Dragon Drei, and you basically get an instant XZ summon for Nova. Speaking of Drei, here's Drei. Sorry if I sounded German in that, guys. I can do it. I have like ways I can make accents, so if I do that, don't make fun of me, please. I beg you. In my world, it's just all that kind of weird things that you see. Anyways, it can become a level 5 when it's normal summon. It can make all Cyber Dragons you control level 5. So Cyber Dragon Core, Cyber Dragon Zwei, and Drai become all level 5s. You got yourself a quick summon, you got a quick Xyz summon to summon Nova, then to Xyz summon Infinity. All that needs to be said. Sorry if I'm out of breath, guys, and I sound like I'm holding in. It's because I'm doing this, trying to get this all through. Anyways, Cyber Dragon Nachusta. Basically, it's your Cyber Dragon go-to. Hit the camera, sorry guys. It's your Cyber Dragon go-to if you need a boost. In other words, you need a quick hand, special summon this from your hand. You need a Cyber Dragon, boom, special summon it from your hand. It will help no matter what you do. Now, the reason why I put 3 Proto Cyber Dragons is because you need a Cyber Dragon for most of these fusions. So, Proto Cyber Dragon, Instant Cyber Dragon. Here's where we get into the dark. Cyber Ouroboros. Basically, you send a card from your hand to the graveyard, you can draw a new card. That's basically all you can do because, yeah, 100 attack and 600 defense, not good. Good for a defense. Here we go. Here's where we get into the Cyberdark. Cyberdark Horn. One of the pieces you'll need for your Cyber Darkness Dragon. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get one. You can basically equip a monster using him, and that will help. Especially if it's a machine or a dragon, you can gain it gains attack points equal to the equipped monster equipped from your opponent's graveyard or your graveyard. And if it's being destroyed, it can sacrifice the monster it's attached to be destroyed instead of it. Oh, trying to say that all in one breath hurts. Cyber Dragon Kill. Basically the same exact thing, only it has to be a level 3 or lower like the others. Same effects, same everything. I cannot explicitly say that, but that's basically its effect. Is basically all 3 of the Cyber Dragon, Edge, Keel, and Horn. That's your main go-to. It's right here. Just grabs a monster, gains attack. If it's going to be destroyed, it sacrifices the monster it's equipped to. Here's where we get the Cyberdark Cannon here. The reason why I say get to is because it basically allows you to get what you need, or summon what you need back from your graveyard. Camera, focus. And finally, Cyberdark Claw. Need one of these in your deck because it can help you again, like Cyberdark Cannon. Cyberdark Claw can either get you the Cyberdark equip spell or not equip spell, a spell or trap. And basically, anyway, guys, this is basically how you deal with your 5 Cyberdark monsters that you need for the fusion summon. But what I want to get into is these next 2. Cyber Laser Dragon. The reason why I put this in here is because you're going to need it if you're ever in a serious situation where you just need a good ultimate defense. In other words, it can, because of its effect, literally it says once per turn you can destroy one monster with attack or defense greater than or equal to this card's attack. 2400, most monsters can beat that. You can destroy them instantly. But only one. So that's where Cyber Barrier Dragon comes in. It's able to protect you, negate the first attack that an opponent sends. Talk about a good card to have in your deck, especially if you're combining it with Laser Dragon. Alright, Armed Cybern. Basically a union monster that you could use to equip to Cyber Dragon and deal some heavy duty damage. Basically, I don't know what else to say, guys. That's basically all it does. The only thing I can tell you about this besides that is is something most people already know about unions. You can equip or unequip it and have it as a regular monster, but with 0 attack, I would not recommend having an attack position. Now we have Cyber Valley. Only good use for this is its effects. You can draw 2 cards, end the battle phase, and draw 1 card, or its last effect, target a card in your graveyard, add it to your hand, or place it on the target and place it on the top of the deck. Finally, we have Cyber Larva. I don't know what to say about this. You can basically destroy it, get another one from your deck. Not really much help since I only put 1 in here. But the only reason I put it in here is because it's a one-time. It's a cyber larva that you can use to basically use as a shield if you need it. It's not really high leveled or high powered, but good. Now, anyways, Cyber Dragon's attack, Evolution Burst. Since you have monsters that call themselves Cyber Dragon in here, this card will work for them. 2 Cyber Repair Plants basically help you get a Cyber Dragon to your hand, so you can just instantly deal with your opponent if you need them, if you need to. Of course, we're going to have Power Bond for that Cyber End combo I was talking about. Now, 2 Cyberdark Impacts. The reason why? Because that is what you need to fusion summon Cyber Darkness. They can be either in your deck, your graveyard, or your hand, or even the field. And you can still fusion summon Darkness. That is what's so good about this card. Now this Super Strident Blaze is for Cyber End Dragon only. Reason why I say that is because it's literally its ultimate attack. It's an equip card that basically takes a hold of the duel in other ways, because it can attack once again. But there's only one drawback to it. Once you do, no other monsters you have on the field can attack. Yeah, stinks, doesn't it? Polymerization basically does what it says. Fusion the monsters. Fuse the monsters together. I cannot talk. But agreed. Draw 2 cards. It's been a while since seeing that, but I haven't updated this deck for a while, so I keep Polygreed even though I don't know if it's still banned or not. If it is, sucks. Overload Fusion is the card I was talking about. There we go. Overload Fusion is what keeps the card for Chimera Tech Dragon, because whether it's in your graveyard, your deck, or on the field, or even in your hand, you fuse it, bring out Chimera Tech, bada bing, bada boom. All monsters are now banished. Chimera Tech Over Dragon is now on the field and ready to deal heavy duty damage. That's why I say it's a risk only be taken if it's your last resort and you're down to your last points. If you're down severely. Future Fusion to bring out a fusion monster that you need on your next turn. That's basically all that needs to be said. It's good just for a fusion summon quick like Zane does. Photon Generator Unit. You basically tribute 2 Cyber Dragons, get Cyber Laser Dragon. That's all that needs to be said. Cybernetic Zone. This is actually a good card to have if you have no cards on the field. And basically you banish it. Well, basically you banish a fusion monster on your field, like Darkness. It comes back, doubles its attack. Till your next standby phase, and then it's destroyed. And here we go. Limiter Removal. This is basically what you would use for your Chimera Tech Over Dragon, even though it would be an OP strike down. It's still a good combination, but it would definitely wipe out your opponent with an ultimate attack like that. Cybernetic Fusion support. Basically, pay half your life points. You can fusion summon any monster so long as they're in any any machine monsters in your hand, so long as you banish them from your hand, your graveyard, and or side of the field. Yeah, it kind of sucks to pay half your life points to do that, but still a good idea. Now, cybernetic hidden technology. Basically, if your opponent attacks you, you can send a Cyber Dragon you control or a fusion monster that lists Cyber Dragon and basically destroy all attacking monsters your opponent has currently on the field. Attack Reflector Unit. Basically, this is how you get Barrier Dragon. That's enough said. Cybernetic Overflow. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to get myself situated here. You can only use this card basically by banishing Cyber Dragons with different levels from your hand, deck, not deck, face up on the field, and or graveyard. So Dry, Swai, and basically any dragons that can be called Cyber Dragon, whether in the field or in the graveyard. You can banish those and basically get spell or trap cards from your deck to your hand for each one you've tossed and banished. Sorry if it sounds like I don't know what I'm talking about, guys. I'm just out of breath and from talking and everything else. Cybernetic Revolution. Basically, tribute your Cyber Dragon, special summon a fusion monster from your extra deck with Cyber Dragon and its name. Then it's destroyed. The only problem is your monster cannot attack directly, which sucks. But other than that, it can destroy all the monsters that you can basically destroy whatever monster you need with the quick summon of a fusion monster. Now, Infinite Impermanence. I basically chose this just to deal with all those naysayers that say, I'm going to take you on with my spells and traps. And basically negate them. And if you have no cards in your hand, you can activate it directly from your hand. Well, actually, if you control no cards, which means if you have no monsters on the field. But why wouldn't you have monsters on the field? Cyber Network. Good for defense. What I mean by that is it buys you time to summon 3 Cyber Dragons that you want to your field. That is good for you because the moment they come onto the field after the 3rd turn, bang, you got an instant combo. Sakuritsu Armor. Basically, it destroys a monster that attacks you. Dust Tornado to get rid of any spell traps that you may think are going to destroy your strategies or whatever. Roboku to heal you up if you need it. Trap Hole to get rid of any monsters that you deem is going to try to destroy you. Torrential Tribute to screw with you, to mess with your opponent's strategy is basically. Trap Stun to stun all the traps to make sure that your opponent can't play anything to stop you from, just basically letting loose. Draining Shield, another card to have for healing. Finally, guys, Rollout. Basically, it's for the Union monster that's in here. It can equip itself. You can add one Union monster from your graveyard to a monster you have on the field. Basically, all that needs is basically what it's trying to tell you. So, that's basically it for this deck, guys. And as for the person who was telling me to get sleeves, I just got some sleeves that just arrived. I'll be putting them in some of the other the decks that I believe would be more needing of it at this time. And for decks like these that I consider that I rarely use, even though I love using their character cards for support decks like this. my main concern is the decks that I use more frequently, which would be like my Red Nova Dragon deck, or well, basically like my Exodia deck, or basically any of those. Even though I haven't reviewed my Exodia deck, because I have more than one of them. One for strategy, one for just Annihilation. Even though most of the cards in the Annihilation deck are banned. This is strictly a fun game deck where you can just make your opponent rage quit. Sorry guys, but that's basically all that is for that deck. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, make sure you guys, if you guys are not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, click that bell icon to get notified of when I upload my videos, and as always guys, make sure to rev it up. Bye.